Hello everyone, Andy Schwab here with your Northern Ag TV. The U.S. has once again shut down live cattle imports from Mexico following the discovery of New World screwworm. Now, according to the Department of Agriculture, the flesh-eating pest was detected in Veracruz, Mexico, which is just about 370 miles away of the U.S. southern border. Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins said, thanks to the aggressive monitoring by the USDA staff in the U.S. and in Mexico, they've been able to take quick action and decisive action, that is, to respond to the spread of the deadly pest. She added the U.S. must see additional progress combating New World screwworm in Veracruz and other nearby Mexican states in order to reopen the livestock ports along the southern border. As you may recall, the U.S. had begun the first stage, that is, to reopening the southern border to Mexican live cattle imports on Monday. Well, Cindy Johnson was one of Farm Bureau Federation's state presidents from across the country who joined American Farm Bureau Federation President Zippy Duvall at the White House this week. Johnson told me that they heard from several speakers, including USDA Secretary Rollins, EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin, and U.S. Trade Representative Jamison Greer, and reiterated the importance of the voices from the grassroots level to being heard on Capitol Hill.
It's a great opportunity for grassroots involvement at a much higher level, and that's really what we want our members to understand, how critical it is for them to get involved and stay involved and write those letters and contact their congressmen and reach out to their senators and express what their needs are, or send them a thank you, sir, kind of letter or something, but keep in touch with them at the federal level because they do appreciate hearing from Montanans.
Now, Johnson, along with MFBF Senior Director of Government Affairs Nicole Rolfe, also visited with Senate and House Majority Ag Committee members and visited with Montana's congressional leaders, as well as attending American Farm Bureau's board meetings. Well, the Western Association of State Departments of Agriculture hosted their 12-state meeting in Whitefish this week. The annual regional event, that is, gathered leaders from all over those states of Wyoming to Guam, that is, and Arizona to Alaska, as it was for educational discussion on relevant agricultural topics, able to share successes and challenges and learn about the agriculture in the host state, according to Montana Department of Ag Director Jillian Street.
It is a great time for us to be able to show off all of the beauty of Montana agriculture. We've got great tours set up for this group. We're going to be going to a couple of different value-add businesses here in the state of Montana, and we're showcasing a lot of good Montana food.
Now, those meetings will be wrapping up today in Whitefish. And the Beef Industry Long Range Plan Task Force has released its new 5-year strategy for 2026 to 2030. Unveiled at the Cattle Industry Summer Business Meeting in San Diego, the plan focuses on ensuring the U.S. beef industry continues to deliver sustainable, high-quality beef, which meets global consumer demand. Task Force member Joe Lowe says the plan offers flexibility while keeping all segments aligned with 6 key goals, including sustainability, animal health, public trust, and innovation. Used by groups like the Beef Checkoff, the plan guides funding decisions and priorities across the supply chain. It's also designed to help the industry adapt to future challenges, from disease to changing markets, while strengthening consumer confidence in beef. We have that story and a link to the full plan on our website, northernag.net. Well, we need to take a quick break, but we're going to come back and look at your cattle futures right after this.
From the beginning, we've worked closely with farmers. BNSF's ties to the agricultural community go back 175 years. Together, we've innovated to make the U.S. agriculture supply chain one of the most efficient and productive in the world. Our strong relationship powers BNSF still today and helps us move the nation like no one else can. At BNSF, we move the nation for you.
Talking with someone that you know is stressed out, those are difficult things to approach, but if you're good friends with those people, reach out and say, I'm here to talk to you. We can find somewhere to get some assistance. It's hard to get involved, but at the same time, you want to just say, hey, there is help available.
For more tips in dealing with stress in agriculture or for free counseling for egg producers, visit beyondtheweather.com.
Cattle futures reacted very positively at the beginning of Thursday's trade from that knee-jerk reaction to the closure of the cattle imports from Mexico. However, as the session wore on, traders started selling their positions on the fact that New World screwworm is making its way closer to the U.S. This certainly could very well impact the negotiated cash cattle sales later today, with packers and feedlots holding out for as long as possible. Of course, working against the feedlots is the lower box beef values, while feedlots are standing on the ground that packers purchased at limited headcounts last week. On the cattle auction front, Superior Livestock will be wrapping up their Week in the Rockies auction today, with quite a few steer calves and heifer calves from our region selling selling later today, that is. For those who already have gotten their 15 minutes of fame, well, those spayed heifers getting some good attention and holding about a 20 to 30 cent discount from their steer mates. And wheat markets led the way higher, showing some relief on the KC winter wheat futures board following that reversal of the near contract lows. Now today's trade's likely going to be mixed to start the session, as many traders are going to be waiting on the results from the latest World Ag Supply and Demand Estimates report coming out at 10 a.m. Pre-report expectations are calling for lower production estimates than month-ago levels, while wheat ending stocks could increase on trade and tariff concerns. Corn futures were once again unable to gain much momentum through the session despite the attempts to trade higher, as that September contract still remains at $4 per bushel mark. Well, that's going to do it for our Northern Ag TV. I'm Andy Schwab. Have a great rest of your day.